What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Dead Noise. I'm Chris, and I am here at Carolina Fear Fest with the legendary Miss Heather Langenkamp. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Obviously, first things first, this is 40 years of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
I know you get asked this question a lot, but when you look back on the past 40 years and the legacy the movie has had, what surprises you the most? Like the fact that it has such a strong legacy, or how devoted the fans are?
Well, I think movies have become such a integral part of our lives in the way that they weren't back in the 80s. I think we all had favorite movies, but there were only a few that had this iconic status. For me, it was The Wizard of Oz or Psycho. Some of these movies that were, culturally well known to everybody. I never ever thought that Nightmare on Elm Street would be one of these films, and over the years, I just watched it slowly gain an audience and fans, and then they became so devoted. The whole genre became this cultural phenomenon that we are all really enjoying right now. And I don't know if it's ever going to end, but so far I haven't seen any evidence that it's getting less powerful than it already is.
You're right. I think it's stronger now than it was before.
It's very strong.
When you look back on Nightmare 1, 3, and my personal favorite, New Nightmare, did you have a favorite moment from either of those sets? Like a memory from filming those that sticks out to you in particular?
Well, there are so many memories from the first Nightmare, and because every day was a new experience with a new idea and a new special effect that never had been done before. Or they were trying to figure it out. I mean, just off the top of my head, I remember the day when they were trying to figure out how to have Freddy come out of the ceiling over my head, and the special effects coordinator said, they came out with this new fabric, and it's kind of stretchy, and it's called spandex, and maybe if we go by a couple yards of it, we can stretch it across this span and see if Freddy can lean into it. And it was such a creative idea, but that was the kind of spur of the moment thinking that was happening almost every day on Nightmare 1. But then as time went by, working with the kids in Nightmare 3 was always really, really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And my death scene, of course, was probably the one day that I remember the most. It was a really hard, grueling day. So, and then in Nightmare 7, I think that final fight scene with Freddy in the dungeon, where I'm splashing in the water and walking around that dungeon, those memories are very, very, very vivid memories.
And I understand that you're not a horror fan per se, but as someone who is a part of the franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street's had a bit of a standstill theatrically. Like, there haven't been a lot of movies made, but is there a certain direction that you would like to see the franchise go?
I don't know what, I always think, what would Wes do? I think about his contribution to the series. The 1, 3, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare, to me, always stand apart because it's Freddy and Nancy.
Yeah.
So in my heart, seeing another movie that would include Freddy and Nancy makes a lot of sense to me. But these days, I literally come across really original ideas from so many people who talk about what they would like to see. That it's not that I don't love horror, but I'm just really careful about the horror that I do see. Because I don't love really gory stuff and really sadistic horror. I don't like to see people tortured. Mm-hmm. So, I'm very careful about what I choose to see. I ask 10 people, what's in that movie exactly? What happens when the, and so I want to know all the kills. I want to know before I go, so I can prepare myself.
That's very smart. Sometimes I wish I would do that with certain movies.
Yes, it's highly suggested.
So, as an actress, what exactly are you particular about what you look for in a role like that too? Because I'm sure you get asked by a million horror producers and writers and directors, and I'm assuming that's how you choose which ones to accept as well.
Well, you'd be surprised. I don't get that many offers, but now that I'm a certain age and I'm getting older, I'm really looking to play parts that are a lot different than the parts I played as a young woman. So, just older women who are grandmothers or mothers of older children, older people. A witch. I just got to play a witch in a a movie in Pennsylvania, and I'm in a movie called Little Bites, where I kind of play this mysterious woman who's like, you don't really know what is going on. I love playing mysterious characters, so playing an evil character was really fun. So who knows what my future holds? I'm open to anything, basically.
Now, a mutual friend of ours, Deandra,
Yes.
she wanted me to ask, how are your Nancy pajamas doing?
They're safe in a very, they're in my closet, waiting for a moment to, come out and, shine out here in the convention land. I'm trying to think of like whether I should like put them on a mannequin or like take them on the road and let people pay $5 to see them. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to come up with ideas.
We're at an after party or something
We're
like
up
that.
to the after party, though. Unfortunately, I'm not quite the same size as I was when I did the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm slightly wider in certain places.
Last thing before I let you go, I have a speed round for you. This is
Okay,
my
I'm
favorite
ready.
part of every interview. Favorite director you've ever worked with?
Wes Craven.
Your most embarrassing moment on set?
Being in the bathtub scene.
Your favorite experience that you've had with a fan?
Oh, there's so many millions of them. Meeting somebody who has watched Nightmare on Elm Street so often that they can pretty much quote the whole movie to me.
Your favorite thing to do outside of the film industry?
Garden.
And the last one, my favorite question, the role that you played or the movie that you were a part of that means the most to you?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
My favorite. Well, thank you so much for the time.
All right.
I
Thank
appreciate
you. Great to meet you, Chris.
You too.